how can you help me? It's difficult to remove my shitty thoughts, and for me, it almost seems impossible. And over the last couple of days, I've been getting this question asked a lot. And so I wanted to clear it up with a few of you because it seems to come up all the time. And it even comes up for me from time to time. And I was just working with a client last week who was having difficulty feeling the same things about her body. And when it comes to losing fat, and she's tried all of the diets in the world known to man, and nothing seems to work. And although she's got a master's in psychology and eating psychology, it's still difficult for her. So I wanted to address this and really clear up some misinformation out there that's about the whole positive thinking movement. And I like to think of it in the way of, instead of focusing on positive thinking, let's begin removing the negative thoughts. So I've worked with many people who have felt the same way, that negative thinking is difficult to get rid of, and it's hard to stay positive. So if that's you, add a little comment below. I'd love to hear what you've got to say about it. But the good news is that it isn't impossible. But if we think it's impossible, then we've already given up. Because believing that it's difficult to change or it's impossible to change is affirming that thinking, and that it's hard for us to try and change that way of thinking. Now, we must begin to just be willing to release the old negative, shitty thinking patterns and change the thoughts to positive ones slowly, one by one. So thoughts that build us up rather than beat us up. And if you're like many other people, we've been trying for a really long time, maybe all of our lives, and it doesn't seem to work. So sometimes the best thing to do is to just give up on trying so hard. I know it sounds almost like a cliche, but if we try giving up on, or if we're just willing to give up on trying so hard, what we find is that we let go of the need to make it happen. So take a deep breath, and right now, if something's difficult for you in life, just be willing to give up on trying to make it change. And then just put one foot in front of the other. Something I've always found really helpful for me whenever I've been going through a situation, or if I'm going through a situation, is to affirm to myself, it's safe for me to change. And I'm perfectly guided with each step. I may not have all the answers right now, but out of this situation, I know something good will come. So I surrender the situation by being willing to just stop trying so hard. And then I affirm to myself essentially that I am safe. It's safe for me to change. I'm perfectly guided with every step I take. And I may not know all of the answers right now, but out of this situation, I know something good will come. And then the third step, the final thing that I do, is I look around and I just choose to see things in my environment which bring me joy. And look around and keep focusing on those, because what we focus on expands. So if I'm focusing on the problem and trying to change it, it's only going to get worse, or it's going to become more difficult. It's a little bit like if we're feeling like we want to invite some more finances into our world, and we look in our bank account and we see we've got not much in there. Has anyone ever done that? You only feel worse, right? So it looks worse than it is. And we look in our bank account, we feel shit, and we don't want to move forward. So what if we just choose to focus on something else? Choose to focus on something that makes you feel good. I'm not saying ignore that there's an issue, but redirect your focus. And when your mind goes back to the worrying thoughts and you notice that you start feeling bad, have another look around and see what you can find which brings you more of a sense of happiness again. You see, you don't have to get completely happy or completely joyful or feeling amazing right there in that moment. All we need to do is get a sense of it. And what we focus on will grow. And we'll begin to have that feeling of joy and happiness in it. So if that's been you and you've been stuck for a long time, it may take a couple of days of choosing to find something to focus on and look for something that's completely unrelated to feel good about. Focus on it, let it expand, let it fill your whole being, your heart, your mind with other things to feel joyful for. And if you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Remember, I'm Damien Munro, Heal Your Life teacher trainer for Australia and New Zealand. Stay beautiful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.